there's so much happening right now in the North American market around charging. Clearly, EV adoption is increasing. This year, I think we'll see double-digit purchases of electric vehicles as a percentage of total vehicles in the light vehicle markets. So it's really starting to get traction.
Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of In the Spotlight. Today we talk to Tom Moser from EvoCharge. Tom will be giving us some of his insights into current EV technologies, EV adoption, and even some advice on businesses that are considering the installation of EV charging stations. Thank you for joining us, Tom.
Very good, Elaine. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today.
And in your opinion, Tom, what are the biggest challenges that the EV charging industry is facing today?
Yeah, Elaine, that's a great question. And there's so much happening right now in the North American market around charging. And clearly EV adoption is increasing. This year, I think we'll see double-digit purchases of electric vehicles as a percentage of total vehicles in the light vehicle markets. So it's really starting to get traction. At the same time, there's a lot of challenges in the U.S. market today with user accesses to reliable and accessible charging. The other big change in the last recent weeks was a number of major OEMs have announced that they are going to be adopting the North American charging standard. This is different from the J1772 standard, which has been used by all automakers other than Tesla. And with this change, there's a lot of change that obviously this affects charging strategy. This affects customers' decisions about should I buy an EV now or should I wait until the car that I want to buy has this new North American charging standard port in it. If I have a vehicle today that has the J1772 plug in it, is it going to be obsolete in a few years? So I think there's a lot of concerns by new buyers in the marketplace as they think about purchasing EVs, as they look at how they're going to charge vehicles, and what the future of charging infrastructure is going to look like with the changes that are underway today.
And what should potential buyers take into consideration before purchasing an electric vehicle?
I think one of the real important things to consider for potential buyers is that adapters are going to be around a long time. I brought a couple with me today. We don't produce these as EvoCharge, but we certainly use these. This is an adapter where you can plug a Tesla charge cable into, and on the other side, on the outlet side, is the J1772 standard, which is that right side up. That would be used with most vehicles produced in North America today that are not Teslas. The second is going in the opposite direction. This would accept what's called a CCS1, which is a standard North America, which has level 2 charging ports on the top. It's got the direct current fast charging ports on the bottom. On the opposite side is the input for a Tesla. Tesla has designed theirs such that one pair of ports can handle either the AC charging or the direct current fast charging to the vehicle. So there are adapters available today. They're well proven and they're going to be around for a long time. And I think that really should ease vehicle purchasers' minds that their vehicle is going to be able to be used for a long, long time into the future with whatever charging infrastructure is in place around the areas where they drive their vehicles.
And how is EvoCharge positioned to take advantage of changing EV technologies?
Sure. Yeah, and I think that's a great question. And as we look at the build out of charging infrastructure in the U.S., without question, the installation of direct current fast charging across the country to really have a full network is going to take some time. As automakers change to the North American charging standard, that's going to take some time as well. EvoCharge really specializes and is focused on level 2 chargers, so AC level 2 charging, where you'd find in workplaces, hotels, obviously homes, whether a single family residence or a multi-family home, And that's really where I think this type of charging is really going to serve as a critical part of overall charging infrastructure now and well into the future. And we can certainly help customers with deployments of level 2 charging in all of those locations. If you look at level 2 in these locations, again, such as workplaces, hospitality locations, multifamily homes or single family homes, really what especially for public and more public infrastructure, you're offering as the site host, you're offering convenience. There's an opportunity for revenue generation, whether that's direct, in other words, I'm going to charge for the charging that I provide, or indirect. If I have a hotel with charging, I'm going to get more room nights than hotels without charging as electric vehicles are adopted. If I'm an apartment building or an office building, I'm going to attract more tenants. If I'm a workplace, and we've seen this in our own company, that the retention of employees with electric vehicles is higher than our average employee base simply because we offer charging to our employees. And it's also going to generate loyalty. And again, loyalty is going to come in many forms, whether in hospitality, workplace, apartment buildings, and that basically makes your customers stickier. So what we bring to that is proven reliability of our hardware. EvoCharge is one of the 3 original EV charging companies in the United States. We were founded in 2009. We understand the needs of these different applications and really can help customers determine solutions that best meet their needs. And this is particularly important when you think about higher density installations where you're installing more than just a couple of chargers. Things like load management become important. How much power do I really need to serve my customers? That's a different answer for a multi-unit apartment building than it might be for a hotel or a workplace. So we can really bring our expertise and our knowledge of those applications to help customers install charging solutions and charging infrastructure that really meets the needs for their users. And make it as affordable as possible for the long term.
And what advice would you give to companies who are considering installing EV charging stations?
Well, certainly, and I think maybe just start with a simple one. And we talk to a lot of customers, and I would encourage if you're a hotel operator, a apartment building, a workplace, if you haven't started down the journey of looking at and providing electrification, now is a great time to start. If you're started already, I think it's time to start to really think about how will you expand that into the future. Because again, electric vehicles are coming. The automakers are releasing more and more vehicles. Customers have more choice. We're certainly seeing adoption of EVs increase. A few years ago, as we were planning our business, we looked at the forecasts of a number of different forecasts on the adoption of EVs in the United States. If you look at the actual deployments and mix of electric vehicles last year in 2022, the actual numbers were between the 2 highest forecasts that were predicted back in 2017 or 2018. I think the important thing for these types of installations is to really understand what are the charging needs for vehicles that are parked for a long period of time. Time is your friend, and that basically allows for taking advantage of load management, which can really help provide more charging cords with a lower level of power. And the longer a vehicle is parked, the less power that it needs to fill a battery over time. I think the other thing that's important with locations such as workplaces or multifamily residences is people don't drive and empty their tank every day. EV charging is very different from the way we fill a gas tank today. Generally, you go to a gas pump, or a gas station, when your car is near empty and you fill it all the way to the top. For EV charging, it's very common to charge a little bit each day. So you don't generally come home with an empty tank every day or an empty battery every day. Your battery is partially empty, and you just need a little bit of top-up charge for the next day. So understanding the real charging needs is important, and again, we certainly can help customers understand that, and then help customers understand how they can deploy their power infrastructure to make that as cost effective as possible while providing as much charging as possible. I think the other thing to think about is charging is a valuable service. There's a lot of expectation that charging ought to be free. Well, the electricity costs money, the infrastructure costs money, and I think customers, I'm an EV driver, I appreciate the fact that customers are making those investments, and I'm happy to pay for the service of having charging where I need it, when I need it. The next thing I'll say is intelligent devices are important. Intelligent devices give you access control capabilities, billing capabilities, and I think we will see over time utilities are going to be more and more interested in the data that can come from intelligent devices and the ability to reach into those devices and perhaps control charging or limit charging in critical times during the day to manage the grid itself. And then lastly, for customers in the United States, there's a couple of real important tax advantages, and I'm not a tax expert, so this is information you should review with a tax expert. But the Section 179 accelerated depreciation and also the alternative fuel infrastructure tax credits can really offer significant upfront savings to help customers generate cash flow very, very early on in the investment of EV charging. And in addition to that, of course, there are oftentimes state or utility rebates that can also be taken advantage of. So there's a lot available today to support the installation costs of charging, whether it be level 2 AC charging or direct current fast charging, DC fast charging. And that's worth looking at today. And it's a great time for customers to really start on this journey of making charging available to their customers, their residents, tenants, and helping make this transition happen.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Tom, and giving us such valuable insights into the EV market.
All right, well, thank you again. It's a pleasure to be here today.
And thank you to our audience for joining us today. Please remember to like and subscribe, and for more original content and all the latest news in the parking industry, head over to parking.net. See you on the next one.